going to talk about the best latch for breastfeeding that will reduce the chance of getting sore nipples. I know, that's like the Bible of breastfeeding right here. So I'll tell you a little bit about my journey. When I first started breastfeeding, straight after I gave birth to Christina, I was shown like how to, here we go, I was shown how to get the baby to latch. So obviously she was a lot smaller than this, but I was shown how to hold the baby and how to get them to latch on. So it's just pretty much to shove them on the nipple like that. Now, at the time when they showed me, this is like off the topic story, this is quite scary actually, but at the time when they showed me, they started talking to me about vaccinations and the first vaccinations, and meanwhile, you know, here I am trying to breastfeed my baby and, you know, not having really any clue what I'm doing. And they're talking to me while I'm breastfeeding her. And then like a minute later, I look down and she's blue. I was suffocating my poor darling. I was suffocating her and she couldn't breathe. And she turned blue and she was unconscious from me breastfeeding her. This is like a bit of a scary story, but make sure that they can breathe. It's just like a bit of a tip. But yeah, but she's obviously okay now. She's nearly turning 1. But yeah, they rushed her to the oxygen machine, and then thankfully before they put the oxygen on her, she let out a big scream. But anyway, so they showed me how to latch her on. But like at the beginning it was okay, but I found after a few weeks, probably by the 3rd week, like I started getting really sore nipples. And I thought, something's not right, because I know if the baby's latching on properly, then you shouldn't be getting sore nipples. Like, yeah, she had a good latch, because obviously she was putting on weight, and she put on her birth weight again. And she put on weight quite rapidly. But the fact is, I was getting sore nipples. So I also found that, like, I think I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, I got like a really bad crack in my nipple, like so bad it was like this deep, and it had pus coming out of it. I know, really gross. So I knew something wasn't right. So I started like experimenting with different latches. So this was obviously the common one, you know, where they get you to put your hand under like that and latch them on. So that was the first one that I tried, and that was probably the most common one that I used. And the other one was like this. I found that one a little bit better, like it didn't hurt as much. Especially when I was putting her on my cut nipple, so that one wasn't too bad. But after doing more research, I realised that the most natural position for a baby was on their belly. Did you know that in hospitals in Africa, in some hospitals in Africa, as soon as the baby's born, they don't wipe it down or anything like that. But, so after the mum's given birth, they just lay the baby there. And the baby manages to find its way to the breast and just attaches itself. And I thought, that's interesting. Like, if the newborn baby who's just been born can attach themselves, surely that's got to be a better form of attachment, because they would instinctively know how to attach. So I tried it with my really sore nipple, and she was probably 4 weeks old. I put her here, and lo and behold, I dare you to try this and just tell me what happens. She found her way. She was like bobbling her head, and she managed to find her way to the nipple and attached herself to the nipple. And it was the first time it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt at all. So if you're having nipple problems with breastfeeding, I dare you to try it and comment below and tell me how did you go. Did they find their way to your nipple? Did it hurt? Like, is it something that you're going to try again? Because after I discovered that it didn't hurt, then I kept trying it and my nipple healed. It healed in no time. So I found that, especially when they're really little and newborn, obviously like when they get bigger, they can just sit on your lap and attach themselves. So yeah, when they're newborn, I found that to be the best position. So I'll just show you again. So find a comfy spot, get a couple of pillows if you need a couple of pillows. Place your baby. Try not to get them when they're really, really hungry. Read their cues. Obviously, if they're sucking and they look like they're starting to get hungry, don't get them when they're crying, because then that's like they've reached past point. So never do that. Always get them when they're sucking on their hand or doing the cat thing. Okay? So as soon as you see those cues, get your baby, place them onto you, and they will smell your breast, your milk, and they'll, you'll probably find they'll like bobble their head and try and find it, and they'll attach. That's it. And cuddle your baby, make sure they can breathe, and that's it, and they'll suckle away. And you'll find it just, like, I just found it didn't hurt at all, as opposed to grabbing their head and going, I just found it didn't work for me. But yeah, that's the best tip I can give you, and guaranteed it will not hurt, unless you're positioning their head in the wrong spot. They know what they're doing. We don't really. I found when I let her do it, it just didn't hurt. I mean, they've got the instinct to know how to attach. That's something that they've learnt in the womb, and they've developed that instinct for that. So yeah, I hope these tips are helpful, and I'm planning to do, my next video is going to be how you can increase your breast milk supply, and what not to do, which will decrease your breast milk supply, which you don't want. Okay, now the reason why I'm talking a little bit softer is because she's sleeping, and I treasure my time. As a lot of you mothers know, you treasure that time when they're napping that you have to yourself. Okay, love you guys. Bye.